So I'm in a bit of a pickle here. Of course, I had to begin the show with a nice little one-song tribute to Ozzy. The big news from earlier today was that, well, we were doing the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem, and I'm glad we were live for this one. We were planning to do the Weird Al Yankovic ticket giveaway at the beginning part of the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem, and we did. We gave away tickets to Cammie. Shout out to her for winning a pair of tickets, one of the few that we have, so make sure to listen out for that cue to call when we give it out, and make sure to be ready to yank that hook for that giveaway. We were doing that, and literally, right as we wrapped up, I go onto Facebook to try to find, I don't know, maybe something to talk about for the rest of the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem, and sure enough, the very first thing I see is the article that Ozzy Osbourne passed away at 76 years old, and I literally gasped to the point where Victor was like, what's going on? Like, he thought I was joking. He thought I was messing around. No. And I just told him the tragic sentence, Ozzy Osbourne is now dead, and sure enough, we had to clean up the rest of the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem and start playing a whole bunch of Ozzy and Sabbath tracks. And there's been a lot of posts in all over online, but especially in the K-Bear group. One of which was listener James wanting me to play Ozzy Black Sabbath tracks for the rest of the afternoon. Now, here's where I'm in sort of a dilemma, because I pre-recorded most of the afternoon show, just the beginning part, because, well, through the magic of radio, I'm giving you this break right now. I'm about to interview Molly of Living Dead Girl, and I had planned to pre-record a little part of the afternoon show to then be able to interview her while the afternoon show was going on, and sure enough, this whole tragedy happened, and so you'll hear the rest of the show will be somewhat normal. But when we get to 4 o'clock, and most likely through the rest of the show, if I can, I will be playing Ozzy and Black Sabbath tracks throughout that entire rest of the afternoon show there, from 4 to around, I don't know, maybe 6. Maybe I'll do it all the way to 7. I know for a fact Lou Brutus is going to do a tribute to Ozzy, because, I mean, right as he passed, right as the news broke out that Ozzy passed, Lou shared a Facebook status, which I kind of thought was funny. It was the crying emoji like 200 times in a row, and then hashtag Ozzy, hashtag rest in peace Ozzy, hashtag Black Sabbath. Yeah, it's been all over Facebook. I'm shocked when I shared the news on Snapchat with a few people, because I was on my lunch break shortly after the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem, and I drove myself to, of course, Culver's, out of all places, and I was in my car listening to Dreamer, listening to Mama, I'm Coming Home, and I was, no joke, tearing up, crying in the drive-thru, ordering a Culver's Double Deluxe, and I'm sure the workers had no idea why I was sad, but maybe they somehow knew. I was even going to tell the person at the window, be like, hey, by the way, Ozzy Osbourne passed away, and I'm like, wait a minute, this guy I don't think would care. I mean, I don't know if he's a rock or metal fan. I feel like even if you're not a rock and metal fan, you know who Ozzy Osbourne was, so rest in peace to the Prince of Darkness. I plan on sharing a great story later on the show. I didn't expect to be so sad today, but this day has almost affected me worse than when Kobe Bryant passed away. So that day was one of the worst days of my entire life. So for to each their own. If you want to answer today's question, it's posted on our K-Bear 101 Idaho Rock and Metal Facebook group. What is your favorite Ozzy or Black Sabbath track? I'll try my best to play a lot of those tracks from 4 to the end of the show, from what it seems like. So, yeah, by the way, I just want to remind you that from here on out till 4 o'clock, the show will be the breaks that I pre-recorded. So don't think I'm ignoring, the elephant in the room. I had to come back and pre-record this break to make sure to let you know. I did not forget about Ozzy. I will be doing a whole big tribute from 4 to 7. So let's go with my now other pick of the day that I was going to play initially, but just couldn't, because I had to begin the show with my favorite Ozzy song, Dreamer. This is from a band called Sorry X. It's called Are You Down? So I used to be that guy that would get like 3 or 4 refills at a restaurant when it came to the soft drink that I had with my meal. And looking back on it now, I'm like, man, I really don't even want one, let alone 3 or 4. And so even seeing, just a large cup at most restaurants, it's like a bucket. It's like you want your bucket of soda with your fat hamburger there, big boy, that type of thing. Coffee buckets are now the latest food trend on TikTok, and it's exactly what you think it is. It's iced coffee in a bucket. If you're obsessed with coffee, this is for you, okay? Complete with handle and straw. There are many variations. The standard version is 6 shots of espresso topped with ice and milk in a 34-ounce-ish bucket. It goes for around $10, which fans say is a great deal when a single latte can cost upwards of $6. I feel like if you wanted to actually get this type of thing, you would have to share it with somebody. I mean, I would have to share it with somebody. There's no way I'm drinking 6 shots of espresso. My heart would be like, okay, what's going on? Going to AFib, all that crazy stuff. Now I'm that guy that gets the small. And even a small at most restaurants is bigger than most places. I do love watching those people from like England come to America and they try American food and they see how big our drinks are, and it's quite shocking to them. And they always have the most hilarious reactions in that accent. I'm not going to try to imitate it because I suck at doing a British accent. I just ended that last break with me talking about how if I were to try to attempt to do a British accent, it would turn out horribly. Even though I'm like 99, 100% Northwestern European. My whole family's from that area. And I just cannot do an accent to save my life. And then I go onto Reddit and I see this question asked, which actor's attempt at an accent was the worst? Figured why not look into this, considering I also just saw a YouTube short last night about Tom Hardy. And everyone likes to tease him on his voices in movies. Like some movies he's perfect for, and then he talks, and then you're just like, what on earth is that voice accent? What is going on here? I don't know what movie I saw this clip from, or what movie this clip was from on YouTube, but he had like this big, scary appearance, right? And then he had this whole like Al Capone, high-pitched, weird gangster, almost like Tony Soprano, but worse accent to him. So I'm looking at the thread here. My favorite review for the Kevin Costner Robin Hood movie was about his now you hear it, now you don't British accent. Kevin Costner, shout out to him, fellow Cal State Fullerton Titan alumni. James Vanderbeek trying to say, I don't want your life in a Texas accent in Varsity Blues made everyone in the Texas theater I saw in it laugh out loud. I think Jade was talking about it a while back when we were all watching The Boys. How, is it Carl Urban? How he has that over-the-top accent as Billy Butcher, and it's quite funny. I thought it was passable, but if you're a person from that area he's trying to imitate, it's like, okay, now you're just insulting us. We have not one, but 2 concert ticket giveaways going on this week. First of all, there is Weird Al Yankovic live at the Mountain America Center on August 8th. Now, we're doing something different for this one. Since we only have a few pairs of tickets for this show, we're having those who want to win the tickets work a little bit more to earn them. And so we're going to have this game called Yank That Hook be played. It's where you take a popular rock or metal song or a song that you just decide to choose, no big deal, and give the chorus a Weird Al makeover. Not the whole song, just the chorus, a brief little part of the song. You give it a Weird Al makeover, turn it into a parody, make it about whatever you want it to be about, as long as it's radio friendly, right? We don't care, just get weird with it. So when you hear that cue to call, be caller 20 at 208-535-1015, and then yank that hook, sing us your masterpiece or disaster piece. Either way, you could win tickets to Weird Al Yankovic live at the Mountain America Center on August 8th. And then also we're doing an old-fashioned giveaway for Dropkick Murphys and Bad Religion with the Mainliners at the Portneuf Health Trust Amphitheater on August 1st. And if you want to win tickets to that, all you got to do is just be caller 20 for that one at 208-535-1015 and win tickets for that show. All right, 2 concert ticket giveaways in 1 week. Best of luck with both of those. Earlier this month, Chris Paul said that he wanted to play one more season in the NBA, and he's returning to his roots to do it. Paul has agreed to a deal with the LAB team, that is the LA Clippers, for his 21st NBA season. The 40-year-old Paul first played for the Clippers from 2011 to 2017, and during that time, he was a 5-time All-Star and picked for 5 All-NBA teams. The deal also means Paul can extend his franchise record for assists, which currently sits at 4,023. Over the weekend, Scotty Scheffler won his first British Open. To celebrate the victory, his sponsor, TaylorMade, posted a picture of Scheffler at the event. It was a nice tribute, except they've photoshopped his receding hairline, giving him a noticeably fuller head of hair. The internet's had jokes, of course, accusing TaylorMade of bald shaming, and the move to enhance Scheffler's dome was a bit ironic because he's known for his humility and pretty much being a grounded dude. He seems like the kind of guy who couldn't care less about his thinning hair, especially with millions in the bank and 4 major titles on his resume. Why not just shave it all off, huh? Become one of us. One of us. NFL training camps have started across the country, and the training camp in Tennessee is already off to a bumpy start as quarterback Will Levis has been officially ruled out for the entire 2025 season after deciding to undergo shoulder surgery. The move puts a bit more pressure on rookie Cam Ward, the number 1 overall draft pick, to step into the spotlight as Tennessee's likely starter. Levis hopes to recover from surgery and get his career back on track again next season. That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. I feel like this could qualify for Cue the Outrage. I was a little irritated by it as well. Slipknot yesterday had a countdown clock, and usually when a band does that, it's a sign of new music on the way, and I think there's been talks about new music from Slipknot for quite a long time now. So everyone was so excited to see this countdown clock hit 0, but I also feel like we should have learned from the whole Linkin Park thing that when the countdown clock hit 0 for them, it just started counting up to sort of, tease that their upcoming album From Zero is going to be out soon. From Zero, it started counting up, forget it. Slipknot's countdown timer ended to reveal something just dumb. And that is, it's dumb in my own personal opinion. They revealed they had 100 blood-filled vinyl box sets. Yeah, they just dropped and instantly sold out of a 6 LP box set celebrating the 25th anniversary of their iconic debut album, but there's more variants to come. I don't think anybody really cares about it, especially with the $250 price tag, and you got unseen imagery and a total of 59 recordings and more. But I guess the mysterious website is still active, and it teases that there are still almost 2,000 variants on the way. Good for them, I guess. Peach's Pit Party on K-Bear 101. I have some disappointing news, all right? It sucks that I have to share that it's coming so soon. Pumpkin spice lattes are returning to Starbucks. They're returning to the store menus on August 26th. A few days later than last year, but still ahead of fall, which starts September 22nd this year. Yeah, so I hope you're ready. Well, I think the thing is that most people are kind of over the whole pumpkin spice thing, at least from what I've seen. I haven't really met anybody who's still obsessed with it. They've moved on to something else. But, of course, they're getting flack for this online now. There's been tons of times I have talked about Walmart and other various stores just putting out holiday displays way too early. And then there was somebody on the Facebook group and the K-Bear group that was like, well, they do it because they want to make more money. But when is enough enough? I could have sworn. Now, I was with another person at the Rexburg Walmart, and we both saw Halloween stuff already out in July. That we're just skipping August, September, going right to October. I'm shocked the Christmas stuff isn't already out. So if you're one of those people by like late August that you're like, I want fall to be here, you can pretend it is. You know that whole phrase, dress for the job you want, drink for the season you want, I guess, with pumpkin spice lattes officially returning to Starbucks August 26th, 3 days before my birthday. Now, I'm trying to find the updated article because this one says the official grand opening ceremony will be in the next couple of weeks, but I heard from Josh and Chantel on Classy 97 as part of the Wake Up Classy 97 morning show that you can find on demand wherever you get your podcasts, that the Pocatello Skate Park set to be officially open this Friday. I think that's what they said, Optimus Skate Park. Located at 972 North 7th Avenue, where contractors from, that doesn't matter. They're nearing completion. Well, it's already completed. This article that I'm reading here is from June 23rd, And I did hear it from Josh and Chantel. I need to find it if it's on East Idaho News. East Idaho News, Pocatello Skate Park. It looks rather cool. No, August, all these articles are from earlier this year. No official article from this week that I'm seeing here. But it's going to be 7,000 to 8,000 square feet. It looks really cool. They got a whole concrete swimming pool type thing. If you're into skating, I'm jealous of you, first of all. I've always wanted to be a skateboarder, but the few times I tried, the skateboard went out from under me, and I fell on my tailbone and almost broke it. You know, just because I'm that fat, lazy, top-heavy dude. Anyway, be excited, skateboarders here in the area. Go to Pocatello, go to Optimus Skate Park, enjoy it. I'm sure it's going to be a fun new addition for the community there. So this is where the podcast gets a little messed up because I had everything ready to go from 2 to 4. And 4 was going to be when the whole Ozzy Osbourne nonstop music sort of tribute went on. So I don't really have much to say other than the story that I'll share on the air and, of course, also on this podcast. Thank you for checking out the podcast, by the way. And then it's mostly going to be just Ozzy music leading up to what the headline at the top of the 6 p.m. hour. And even then, there's not going to be that much talking. More so just, I don't know, a nice tribute to the Prince of Darkness. I mean, the guy, it's crazy the legacy he leaves behind. I'll talk some more about it, but yeah, I just wanted to make sure that if you were wondering why this podcast sounded a little bit different than the rest, it's because of Ozzy. All right, here we go. It's the start of the 4 p.m. hour, and well, I did say we were going to be doing a different To Peach Their Own today to sort of do as a tribute to the one, the only Ozzy Osbourne. Could not really do the whole afternoon of just Ozzy and Black Sabbath tracks, but a good chunk of my show is about to be starting now. And so today's To Peach Their Own question. I've had almost 100 comments on the K-Barrel 101 Idaho Rock and Metal Facebook group. What is your favorite Ozzy or Black Sabbath track with Ozzy in it? I know there's Black Sabbath tracks with Ronnie James Dio and Peter Gabriel. Not going to play those. Just going to play the Ozzy ones, of course. So give me a call. Let me know what your favorite track is. 208-535-1015. And I'll start off this hour with my own personal favorite from Ozzy, I Don't Want to Stop. For those that are just tuning in, for those that are, wondering if we're going to do a Ozzy tribute type thing, it's going to be happening from now till the end of the show. I'm trying my best to line up as many different Ozzy Black Sabbath tracks as I can. If you have a request, send it over, 208-535-1015. Or you can comment on the K-Bear 101 Idaho Rock and Metal Facebook group. I figured I would start with my own personal favorite, I Don't Want to Stop. I might do my other favorite track from Ozzy, Let Me Hear You Scream, which is fantastic. But I also have to do the staples. I got to do Crazy Train. I got to do Flying High Again, Mr. Crowley, No More Tears. There's so many songs from the legend himself that it's going to be tough, very tough, to try to fit it all within 3 hours. So if you have that request, send it over. 208-535-1015 To Peach Their Own. What is your favorite Ozzy or Black Sabbath track? We like to make fun of the well-known radio personality that is Eddie Trunk, but he said something really, really cool online that he basically just said, how ironic is it that a guy who adopted the moniker Prince of Darkness brought so much joy to so many and was one of rock's most loved artists and personalities? And it's true. How come is it so hard to believe that shortly after that monumental farewell concert just weeks ago, so right afterwards, he passes away. But thankfully, he got to see all the love from every single fan of his from across the world. I mean, that performance even raised money for, I think it's like the highest, most money made for a charity concert type thing ever. So it's just incredibly, incredibly cool to see everyone paying tribute to one of the greatest rock stars ever, right up there with Rob Halford and the rest of the OG rock gods. I mean, I'm scrolling Facebook here in the studio, and there's every post, people coming together to basically pay tribute to the one, the only Ozzy Osbourne. On the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem, the very first song we played when we first heard the news about his passing was this track featuring Elton John. This one, if this doesn't make you cry, I don't know what will. Ordinary Man. AC/DC even posted a picture of Ozzy paying tribute, and it's gonna, man, I realized after looking at that post, I realized that, the day that we lose any either member, Brian Johnson or Angus Young, I feel like that's going to be just as sad as this day has been. Losing the Prince of Darkness. I did see Ozzy's Boneyard. Does that still exist? Is it still called Ozzy's Boneyard on Sirius XM? I think they're just doing a whole big tribute over there as well. Like they're doing some all-day thing, and people around the world have been affected by this death, and it's utterly sad. So let's do the biggest track, I would say the biggest track of Ozzy's solo career. Why not play the OG Crazy Train? That song right there, Patient Number 9 from Ozzy and Jeff Beck, is extra special to me because, well, back in 2022, when that album first came out, Ozzy was going around. I don't know if he was going around or if he just specifically came to Fingerprints Records in Long Beach, California at the time. Either way, I did see there was a post from Fingerprints on my Facebook that said, hey, Ozzy, the Ozzy, is going to be at our store just signing his album all day. So I immediately just told my dad, hey, you should most definitely, I know you're not feeling well, most definitely try and go to this because I feel like this is your one and only shot to sort of see Ozzy in person. My dad at the time, to say it lightly, he was not feeling well. We thought it was COVID for the most part because he wasn't really able to stand for a short while, let alone a long while, and he was constantly tired, all of that. And yeah, it was around that time when finally my dad, when we found out his blood sugar was so insanely high that he also had a bacterial infection and he was battling this. And he's still, I almost tear up talking about this, he still mustered up the power and the courage to drive to Long Beach, California and go to this. And he waited in line. He couldn't even stand up in line. People had to grab a chair for him. And I was going to share this entire story on my personal Facebook at Brendan Peach, put it all over social media, as a matter of fact. And just to have him wait in line and be able to get an album signed, I was just happy he was able to get the vinyl record Patient Number 9 signed by Ozzy. And he also had the chance to say hi to Ozzy. And Ozzy was like, I forgot exactly. I wish I could call my dad right now and ask him. But I forgot what Ozzy exactly said to my dad, but there was a whole conversation between the two before he had to, go out, exit, and the next person had to come up. I might actually call my dad, see if he's able to share that story on the air, but my dad was very sick at the time. He didn't even want to touch Ozzy. I think he just kind of said, thank you so much, and walked out of there. But I didn't realize till Christmas later that year, my dad had also gotten me a signed vinyl record from Ozzy, Patient Number 9, and I was in tears because I didn't realize how much power, how much it took for my dad to do that for me. And so I truly have that in a very special place in my apartment. I'll make sure to share a picture of it, like I said, on Facebook. We'll continue this Ozzy tribute here in just a few. Remember, if you have any requests, feel free to send them over. 208-535-1015. Appreciate everybody joining along in this Ozzy Black Sabbath marathon. For those expecting what the headline, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of doing the whole Ozzy tribute. My mind's preoccupied. It took me forever to finally lay out all the tracks for that everyone requested, also just those that I wanted to play for the rest of the show. So tomorrow we'll continue with the usual show segments. I also, in the middle of all of that, was trying my best to edit my interview with Molly, a Living Dead girl, that happened earlier today at 2 p.m. I feel so bad for her because I had this whole thing planned out, and then, the whole Ozzy passing happened, and sure enough, we talked about that in the beginning, talked more so about her love for Disney shortly after. That was a fun conversation overall, but I just felt bad because, I was going to share that on social media, but then Ozzy passing, so I had to change the whole course of the show for the afternoon. But I believe tomorrow, or hopefully by the end of the week, I will get the interview uploaded onto our YouTube at KBear101 RMG, my conversation with Molly of Living Dead Girl. Bill Ward had some great words to say about his longtime friend Ozzy. I reposted that on our Facebook page at KBear101 FM. Just a reminder, at the end of the show tonight, I will share the entire list of songs that I played as part of this tribute to Ozzy. Everybody has been telling me to play this track, and I was talking with loyal listener Jeremy about the whole final performance of this track where they isolated his vocals, and you can tell he didn't really have it in him anymore at that point. It's quite sad, but this one will certainly make you tear up. Just a FYI, Ozzy, Mama, I'm Coming Home. I was absolutely shocked. I might have to talk about this with Victor tomorrow, that we didn't have Children of the Grave in the system. I had to go onto my old iTunes purchases from way back when and get a copy of it that way. So, yeah, Children of the Grave. It makes me want to play Brutal Legend again real bad. I might need to play that game tonight just to, again, further move on with this tribute to the late, great Ozzy. I've been loving all the different posts of, people remembering him, and just for a guy that we all didn't even know personally, but he influenced all of us, and there will never be another Ozzy whatsoever. Victor said it best. There will never be another Ozzy Osbourne. So we'll wrap up this tribute here soon, and then I'll be making my way out of here. So a few more Ozzy Black Sabbath tracks on the way on Peach's Pit Party. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, a.k.a. Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.